This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to Paradise, Louisiana. I'm humbled and grateful Gary Risponi. This is 1001 edition of Paradise, Louisiana, coming to you again from Superior Bait and Tackle here on Singing Lane. Before I start, I gotta thank all those people that surprised me. I'm gonna repeat some of those fishing reports and hunting reports that didn't get shown last week. It's very, very touching in what Chris did, and Frank and Dirk and Joe and Don and KD, all those people that didn't work for me, worked with me or taught me. So I'm really touched. I got scared because Chris, with all them, my kids, I thought maybe one of my doctors had called him and told him I didn't have long to be here. So sort of got scared a little bit. Usually you don't hear all them people saying good things about you. And I got to answer a couple of them. One of them, Don talked about me eating a sandwich with pig skins. It wasn't pig skins. It was Jerry Lee's hoghead crackling, by the way. And all my life when I eat cracking, we bring them on a hunting trip, fishing trip. We have bread. We just roll them cracking, and that bread sort of cut the grease. So it wasn't pig skins, even though I've eaten them, but that was, and a couple things that Don called the Goomba. I like that, but they changed it to Black Cloud, and things was always negative. They used to call me the Galloping Goomba, and I think Joe started some of that. I think that had to do with my Sicilian heritage. So, but thank y'all. Every one of y'all, especially Chris, I'm looking at him right now. If he ain't the best producer, editor right now in this business, he's in the top 5 with all of them. And there have been some good shows, and thank all of those that took time to email and text, and thank you very much. So I'm gonna try to go back with the fishing report and a little bit of the hunting report. We got a little news, items are coming up. Just to remind y'all, it's Christmas time, pretty baby. Get ready. Get by your local store, especially right here at Superior Bait and Tackle. Get you a gift certificate, buy a big item. For the outdoorsmen, both women and men, this is the time you can find all kind of gifts when you're an outdoor person. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. Singing Lane, Superior Bait and Tackle.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Little guy. Got a big flock of birds working right here. Figured it'd be small fish, but you gotta always give it a look. There's a bunch of them there. I can feel them bumping my lure. You gotta always pay attention for birds this time of year. As sometimes you'll pull up, be all 15-inch fish, but these look like they're all throwbacks. They're probably not going to stay long. You never want to drive past a flock of birds, though. Just headed out to our first spot. Not really sure where we want to go or what we want to do. That's why you always stay observant. Keep your eyes peeled. Sometimes you can run into the Holy Grail on the way out. Go. A little bit bigger. Just stroked. Left Lake Catherine, came to Lake Bourne. Again, birds diving. That one was a little short. These fish are a little bit closer to being keepers, but still short. But you can't pass up birds when you see them diving in your vicinity. A lot of times you show up and it's all really nice fish. Pretty trout. Look at that trout, baby. That's a good one. That's a good one. We have just been fishing all over the place today. Started off on birds. Moved into the marsh, caught some small reds. Missed a few big reds at the boat. Now we're just working some shorelines and bourne. Big, beautiful trout right there. Go ahead and snap a picture and let this one go. Go ahead and let this trout go. Nice trout. There he goes. Let's get back on this little point, see if we can get a few more. Specky. We just been moving our way further and further south. Not keeping any fish today. Started off this morning, as you saw, running into a couple flocks of birds, all throwbacks. And then got away from that, went deep, deep, deep in the marsh, looking for reds. Hooked a few, landed a few, nothing special. And just kept heading south. The water's a lot cleaner the closer we get towards the Chalmette area. Now we're fishing some of the marshes off of the Chalmette area. And pretty tough day, but nevertheless, making something out of nothing. Gotta always keep casting. We've done a lot of different things today. You know, from popping corks to fishing birds. Now I'm fishing a deep bayou, close to Bayou Thomas. Just simply hopping it off the bottom. We just had a big cold front come through. And whenever you get a big change in weather patterns, I mean, that was our first front of the year, really. Dropped the water a good 2 feet. Water's really dirty in a lot of places. You just want to take that first nice day after the front and really spend some time on the water, cover a lot of ground, see where the cleaner water's at, see if the redfish are ganging up, see if the trout are ganging up. Because once we get into the true winter pattern, those fish will find an area that they really are favoring and stay in there. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close it up. Throw the white towel in here. Been a long day. Tough day of fishing. We had to pull out a lot of tricks, go to a lot of different techniques to put some fish in the boat today. From popping corks, some bird fishing on some school trout, working shorelines, did manage a couple nice trout, but nevertheless, had a nice day on the water. Big cold front just came through, dropped the water levels a good bit, dirtied the water up a good bit, but whenever we fish tough conditions, the lemon head is our go-to bait. That's one of our favorite ones right there. That's going to be in your Matrix bait box this coming month. Make sure to subscribe to the Matrix bait box. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out all of our Dockside TV episodes.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
As members of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, For those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. In the Berkeley Abu Garcia fishing report, a delayed hunting report that we got from pictures from last week that we didn't get to use, and a little bit more expanded on the fishing report. I'm gonna be jumping around. I'm gonna go back and use some of the new stuff from last week. So if I got my head down reading, I'm trying to pull them back up from last week. I got my good friend, besides sending a congratulations and a deal on the 1,000 show, Rudy Valenciano. One of our good friends, long time. One of our guys with fishing reports for years, one of the best reef fishermen there is in the Gulf of Mexico. They made a late season. They had 4 limits, 16 snapper, and 1 big lemon fish. So, Rudy, thank you for that. Missed you. Thank you for the congratulations. Last week, I showed you some pictures of Mike Brantley and his catching. He was so busy this week, he was dodging the weather and everything, but hey, still, Mike Brantley, fishing fool, right there in Slidell, they murdering the fish. When I say murder, I'm telling you, they're going out there and getting limit or close to limits every day, and they can run in the shoreline, he can go to the bridges, he got their little network. Island Marina, the same way, the captain's there. The Point, they're doing the same thing. Island Marina, them all got shrimp, and this is what I'm telling you right now. Man, we got a little spot we used to call ahead, but lately, after all that storm, some of these places are not answering the phone as much as they should, but they'll get back to that. So we'll talk to them. And another thing I'm going to tell you about in the lake and in the passes and in unknown pass, when my friends and all of them are fishing, they fishing a drop-off, they fishing drop shot. You know what that is you got a weight on the bottom, way up, a foot and a half, 2 foot. You got a hook, and sometimes they use it with plastic, sometimes they use it with live shrimp. So, and that's the way they're fishing there. But the fish have been running on the bank, especially where you got 7 species of fish that are in the area. So they're catching flounder, drum, redfish, bass. I mean, you name them, they catch them, speckled trout. They all going, when they see that on them runouts or them passes, or on them points, when they fishing back, they throwing up against the bank or let somebody in there with a cork, throwing them up against the bank, popping that cork, they're catching bass. I'm talking about the other day, last week I told y'all that Susie and them, and Herb, Susie was fishing a cork. She had 18 bass in a row, what they called 18 bass in a row. Gulf Coast Liquidators, my friends over there are sending me a report. They were at Myrtle Grove fishing the shoreline, fishing the bank. They were using 4-horse caulk with live shrimp, and here's a picture they sent. Him and his lady friend right there, you see him, it's unbelievable. I told you again last week that Old River was hot with big, they came from David Pitts, a lot of it using blue ice. They're getting reports from Lotto again, Pearl River. Henderson, I'll tell you, they were catching bass, not only catching bass, they fishing in the middles and passes and under the interstate. They fishing them with spider rigs like they do in Lotto and other places. So they was doing it. Pearl River has been the hottest. Last week, Chad Herzog sent me some of those pictures. I don't know if I do it. He won that tournament. But I got people, I didn't even realize they were fishing. They called me up the other day. He said, I could have told you. He said, when that river gets down, we've been catching 30 and 40 bass a trip over there. Fishing spinnerbait, crankbait, plastics, whatever. They're still catching a lot of fish. Pearl River. Amite, Cold Meat River, when they were down, before that rain, people are floating them rivers, and it's unbelievable. They're catching those Kentucky bass out there, mine. Every now and then you catch a black bass. So that's what I got in freshwater. That's all I can think of right now. Spillway, finally heard somebody caught a few fish. They're doing a lot of running, find the right water, catching. When I'm going to go back to tell you, some people call it the spillway, but Lake Verret and the marsh down there, tides are right, they're catching fish. Okay, a lot of people catching, you got to catch the tide right, they're doing it. The water's low, tide affects the rivers. Even though the rivers them fell out, that tide will come in with a high tide, it'll move the water, and that's what you want. Now, I'm still waiting on what I'm waiting on. Oh, I asked y'all right now, we got a couple of these dealers right here at Superior Bait and Tackle, and we're going to give away a gift certificate for the best youth picture or story that you sent in about your big redfish, any kind of fish, anything got to do with fishing offshore, send me a picture, and we're going to give you a big gift certificate. You got your name in there, I'll contact you, and these people here at the store know about it. Also, at Bowie Outfitters, we're going to give the best hunting picture, whether you got, whenever it comes up, and this year's almost over, but after the hunting season, we'll tell you that. We'll probably end in sometime in March when turkey season is over, and all them in April. So you got this whole season. You send me those pictures, I use it on TV, and then either we're gonna have somebody pick it out from Bowie, pick it out. The best story, best report, and the photo. So be sure to keep it good, keep the camera and sunlight behind you in the subject's face. So won't you remember, it'll help your photo. Now, another local close fishing report just come in. Junior Southwest Bassmasters, they had their award night the other night from 7 to 10 years old. King Fisherman was Jensen Rogers. And 11 to 14 was Dustin Morales, and 15 to 18 was Caleb Roblin. By the way, the big bass of the year was a monster. Caleb Roblin with an 8.63. John Bernard is still over there sending me pictures. I don't know if I used last week, but he's doing, but they've been fishing in Dulac. All right. He's been using gulp, and they've been using bait shrimp on the court, catching all them redfish. He's been taking people out. He's been seeing these trout and been seeing a few birds, and these people want them redfish. So he took his son-in-law and them and the kids, and they went out there. They had a glow chartreuse gulp, and they fishing the matrix shrimp Creole under a 4-horse caulk, and this is a picture of some of the nice trout they caught. So trout are back. I got a report from DeLarge, same thing over there. Lloyd Landry and them guys, you might have saw it on Kevin Ford. The trout are back. Even before they get to Lake Decade, they catch them in them canals, fishing off them deep banks. They're using regular plastics. They're using a jig head, but mostly the birds, they see the birds, they got them under a 4-horse caulk, and they popping that caulk and catching them on them smaller baits. So that's it. Let me see if I'm going to forget nothing. Got a couple hunting pictures that didn't get through last week. My niece, McKinley Borski, her and her boyfriend Connor, I said it last week, but we got cut off. They killing greenheads. Guess where they killed them up? She was up in Kansas. Her boyfriend killed her first greenhead, and here's a couple pictures of them, and they even sent me the sunset. Also, in Southwest Arkansas, Dwayne Chapman been last couple of weeks been sending me pictures of the grandkids and them. But they finally got on some greenheads this past week. Dwayne Chapman in Southwest Arkansas. Here's a picture of greenheads and greenheads, and they had a couple hens. Also, they had one gadwall in a nice hunt in the morning hunt. 2 or 3 people. Now, all I can see, I see nothing else. Cable and Rod, I didn't miss nothing? Yeah, I did miss. I'm going to thank Superior Bait and Tackle again for putting up with us, coming here. One more time. Chris, you got any more surprises coming? I love it. It's unbelievable. By the way, you know, I can't tell you how many things he does right now. He's cameraman. He works with the people at SEC Network, ESPN, and he works, you know, right now, their little main thing with Don Dubuque and them with Bayou Wild. So check them out. Don't forget, we're no longer, so you can't see it. But your view, go to their website. They tell you where you can stream them, whatever. And I think we're back on in Hammond, we're back on down on the coast on Vision. We're back on ETEL and back on the Pelican. So you catch that show. If you have any trouble, send those reports. Gary at ParadiseLouisiana.com. You better hurry up. Christmas time's here. God bless Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.